What up? What up? What up?
Yo,
It is
What it
show
do?
time. What
what's
it do?
good?
We are broadcasting live from all over the place in different locations. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are here. We're excited to talk to you. Without further ado, let's go ahead and do some introductions. Y'all know me. I'm Trey, aka the Punisher TW. To my left, your right. My left, your right. There we go. My left and your right. We got the King,
What
King
it do?
Rich.
What it do? Hope everybody's being safe, being well, having fun out there.
Already, man. That's what we are all about. And then all the way again to my far right, your far left. We missed him last week. He had some business to take care of. So the kamikaze is joining us this week. Talk to us,
Bong
bro.
bong. What it do, people? What's good?
I'm good, man. I'm good. How you feeling?
Man, enjoying life. I'm trying to see what's good. What we getting into today, man?
Yeah, that's the
Well,
question. That's the question.
we got a little bit of everything on the docket tonight. I'm excited. So I'm excited to get into these shots too. So, let's see what we're going to talk about here today, man. First of all, before we even get into that, I just want to have everybody take a quick second and just make sure that you are good. I want to make sure you're good. I want to make sure you're in good spirits and in good shape because, it's hard out here for real. All right. I just want to sincerely say that to everybody. It is hard out here. So please take your time to get yourself together and make sure that you are straight. All right. All right. That's it. That's all. That's my only PSA for the day. That's probably the nicest thing you're going to hear me say tonight. Okay. All right, man. Listen, fam, let's get right into it with no delays. First topic, potential topic we have. So this Will Smith Jada thing. Hey babe. Oh yeah, the queen has entered the room.
I know that's right.
The queen has entered the room. All right, so this Will Smith Jada Chris Rock thing, it has been beaten to death. More stuff tends to keeps on coming out. Um, what y'all think, fellas? We up to it or down to it?
You know what? I'm actually kind of up to it because I want to get some feedback on what everybody thinks. Because of course, ever since everything happened, I've been hearing, maybe it's a publicity stunt. So I want to get some feedback from our listeners and get a little bit of mixed opinion on what y'all think.
Okay, okay. All
Okay.
right.
All right. I mean, like I said before, man, well, I've said, to some other people, I said, man, it goes much deeper. So, there's more to be talked about. I mean, it can branch off into so many directions. So I'll be up to it.
Okay, well, I must admit, I did not expect us to be up to that topic, but hey, man, I am down for it. So we know what that means. I'm up to it myself. So, like we do, Q, I see you in the car. It is what it is. But we up to it, baby. Let's get it. Smooth. Okay. Will, Jada, Chris Rock. So since we last talked about this, um, Will's been banned for 10 years. I don't believe the video of him checking into therapy had dropped yet. Did y'all see that?
Nah,
I
I
didn't
actually
catch that.
didn't.
Oh,
Man, video of
okay.
therapy. That would be a first because I ain't never seen, or even heard of him going to therapy.
Yeah, so
I,
far as
and
I know, that's what. Yeah, I want to say it was therapy. It might have been something else, but I believe he was
well,
being.
here's the thing, right? I believe everybody needs some therapy. I believe everybody needs, you know, um, help, especially when it comes to mental health. You know, that's a big issue in these here United States because I don't want to say, well, if I'm talking about us as a country, what's that song? You're so vain, right? I just feel like our climate here, as a country is vain, man. It's all about, social media appearance, what it appears to be. I don't think anybody's I can't say anybody, right? I don't think the majority right now is as they say. You probably heard this before, right? Living in their truth, right? No, but in a serious sense, like I think a lot of people are just putting on this front, and they're afraid to uh you know be them. They feel like they got to be, more than who they are, or they're just afraid to show their flaws for good reason. Because if you say something wrong out here, man, you liable to get lynched. Social media lynch, man. The mob is gonna come after you.
No, that's real talk, man. You at bare minimum are risking getting canceled by saying the wrong thing or offending the wrong group of people, which, in my opinion, that undermines free speech to begin with. But
Mm. Mm.
I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it. I'm gonna leave it for now.
Mm.
I'm gonna leave it for now.
You know what? You know what? I know. Listen, we talked about Will and Jada, but this is already brought up another topic. I'm sorry, Q. We got to go into it from right
Go
here.
ahead.
We got to go into fresh the Cam Newton situation, man.
Ooh, talking about offending the protected class or a protected
We
class, I should
we
say.
we got to go into it, man. We got
All
it.
right.
Let's. Hey, what do we always do? Let's take it to the vote. What y'all say, man?
So hold on. Before we do that, before we jump, because I'm with that. I'm with it. Q,
All right. We'll
yeah,
bring it back.
no, I'm with it. I'm totally with it. Q, give me your feedback, man. What's your thoughts on this whole situation? And I'm gonna play the video too of them being checked in, since y'all hadn't seen it yet. I got that coming up next.
So yeah, I did want to chime in before we even get into the next topic because you did bring up a valid point, Rich. Look, for anybody that's listening, because he did say, mental health is important. And if Will Smith is actually getting mental help right now, I commend him for it because that's one thing that I really support. Because as a community, mental health has been kind of cliche, and it's been so many stereotypes that's been going along within the community when it comes to mental health, especially only crazy people have to seek out mental health. No, with everything that's going on, I think it's important that everybody has some kind of an outlet, whether it be a mental health professional, whether it be venting to somebody, because you never know. Even just talking to somebody can save somebody's life. So, very important for me. Always make sure you keep your mental health in check. If you need somebody to talk to, always make sure you have someone that you can rely on if you can't get to the professional help that you need. That's what I wanted to get out, but I want to get into this Cam Newton situation. So let's go.
All right, okay. I like that, man. So first of all, before we jump to Cam, and we getting there. Don't worry. Let's take a look real quick and let's see if I can let if the computer will let me be great today. All right, because sometimes it don't like to let me be great. Here we go. I think we're good to go now. Uh-huh.
You know, Esther Perel is coming to the table. She's going to be at the red table. Would you say she has been instrumental in you and I redefining our relationship?
I would say don't just start filming me without asking me
Oh my goodness.
if you could film me.
Esther, come help us again, please. I'm still dealing with foolishness.
Because she don't just.
Would you say that she helped us heal the hurts that we caused between one another?
My social media presence is my bread and butter, okay? So you can't just use me for social media and not, don't just start roll. I'm standing in my house. Don't just start rolling.
Please watch us stare at the red table because she's helped us a lot. Can't you?
I took myself off. Okay, here we go. So there you have it. There you have it. There's the whole thing. Before I go in, because I could go in on this. Before I go in, Q, you brought up mental health in your when you were last talking. What's your thought on that? What you just saw?
Well, like I said, I definitely commend him seeking it out because, like he did say on the stage, he didn't like the person that wasn't like the person he wanted to become. And I'm all for a man bettering himself. If he wants the help, I'm all for it, man. More power to him.
My bad. So I guess my first question, and either one you can jump in on that, is looking at Will. Because I like, I believe that the eyes don't lie, right? So I'm looking at Will, and I'm watching his facial expression. I'm watching his eyes. I'm listening to his voice. This man sounds and looks tormented. If you ask me, he looks like he's a broken man. He looks like he's an emasculated man. That's just off those few seconds. Now, of course, we don't know all the ins and outs of their personal life. We know a lot of it because they've been very public about it. But we don't know all the ins and outs of their personal life. But that just, to me, that looks like a man that's been broken. And my question is, what wife, what queen worth that position and worth that title would allow their husband, their king, to get like that?
Are you speaking in the traditional sense of a wife, a biblical sense of a wife? Oh, all right.
Well, but
let me bring it back.
That's a great point, though. That's a great point, though, because there's what the world or what everybody in general views as a wife. I would imagine. Maybe we should put this as a post.
It sounds like it's what the individual these days is what the individual feels.
I agree. Whatever you feel like a wife is today is what it is.
But here's what I will point out: is that he said his social media presence is his bread and butter. What does that mean? What does that tell you? What did I just say a little while ago? He said it himself. His social media presence is his bread and butter. And to me, right there, because he was saying, you got to ask me before you turn the camera on. And right now, she's got the camera on without even asking him. So what does that tell you?
Well, I mean, off top, that kind of tells me that it's more about her. She's more concerned about her red table talk than she is about her husband's mental health. That's what it tells me. Let me know in the comment section. Y'all can let me know if y'all disagree, but that's what I think. I feel like she's more concerned with the ratings from the red table than she is with her husband's mental health. And I don't honestly believe that she's ever been concerned with her husband's mental health. We talked about it last week. We talked about the letter that Willow wrote to Tupac. You know what I'm saying? Like that really happened. That happened in real life, right? So I mean, I don't really know. I don't really know. We got a question in the comments on Twitch. It says, can Will be helped and stay with Jada? That's a great question. Can Will be helped and stay with Jada?
I think so, but the real question is, will Jada be open to receiving the help as well? Because it's a relationship. It works on both ends. And like you said, she does seem like she's more involved with the red table talk than she is with Will's mental health at the moment. But if you want that relationship to last, like, y'all both have to work out y'all problems, and they both got some demons to fight. So in my case, yes, I do believe they can work out, but she has to be willing to receive the help too. Will can't just be the only one going in on it.
I mean, yeah, that part, because we can't sit here and pretend that Will's the only one that needs help.
Yeah, it goes both ways.
Absolutely goes both ways. It absolutely goes both ways. I think there is something to be said about allowing a man to be a man, and we're going to get to that in a second with the Cam Newton conversation. But there is, and I'm not talking about the actual toxic shit. Sorry, toxic stuff. I'm not talking about the actual toxic things that some men engage in, but we're talking about a very loud minority when we're talking about those people, right? So I think the question posed, let's get back to the original question. Can Will be helped and stay with Jada? My opinion is no. I think he needs to get away from that. I think she's already shown how hard she's willing to go for him. And in my opinion, it's not that hard. She's not willing to go that far for Will. She's willing to let him, sacrifice his own career. Like I just go back to the moment that he started to walk on the stage, and I just think if my wife were sitting next to me, and I was, whatever, somebody insulted me or whatever, she rolled her eyes, because there's a look, y'all know, fellas, there's a look that we also give to convey that we understand the assignment. We understand that you were offended and now I got to handle business. There's a look that we give back, right? I just can't imagine my wife sitting next to me or across from me and seeing me give that look of, oh, word, and her letting me walk up on that stage. And if I did walk up on that stage, it would have been very clear the moment I sat back down that she was not a fan of what I did, because that hurts us. That hurts my reputation. It hurts the bag. It stops the bag. All right. Will Smith gets the bag. It stops the bag. Right. And I just don't understand I don't understand a wife or anybody that calls himself a wife. Back to your point, LB, I can't understand anybody that calls himself a wife that would allow their king to do that.
I'm not attacking Jada. I'm just asking the question, did that hurt the bag for Jada?
Ooh, great question. Great question.
Did it hurt to bag for her? What's that saying? All publicity is good publicity, right? If she knows Will, she knows that she knows him. She knows what he's capable of, right? It's like my wife knows me. Mm-hmm. Your wife knows you, right? Mm-hmm. So no, I doubt my wife would not let me go on that stage. Matter of fact, she probably would have jumped on the stage to pull me back.
That
she already knew what I was going to do.
Yeah, that part, because again, your wife knows you, and they've been married for 20-some years. I would imagine Jada knows Will at this point, and I would hope that Jada knows Will at this point. I don't know, because they got an open marriage, and by definition, there's no such thing as an open marriage. An open marriage is you just being out here in these streets for real. You just go home to one person. You know what I'm saying? Like that, if we're being honest. So
now the question is, do y'all believe that she might actually be going into the whole thing, the whole media hype? When you turn on the TV now, everything is all about drama, and drama sells.
That's fact.
And honestly, if my woman knew, or my wife knew, that I was about to do something that was going to hurt potentially both of our bags, I kind of was counting on Jada to stop him. But the fact that she deflected the whole situation and said that she didn't need a king to save her because she's capable of standing up on herself, by herself.
Well, then she is a G.I. Jane.
I mean, that part, that part, we got into that a little bit last week. I don't I would think that as the strong woman feminist that she claims to be, I would think
that she would have took it as a
still would have just been
compliment.
like, what are you doing, bro? I don't need you to go do that. What's wrong with you? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I don't know. We got another comment on the in Twitch. A shout out to all you guys that are listening in and commenting. Thank y'all for joining the conversation. Says I don't think it hurt the bag for either of them, but it's clear she doesn't care for his reputation, feelings, and mental health. I mean that part to me is obvious. I mean, because again, no queen. I just don't see a. I just think about me and my wife, and I just can't see her just letting me bombard the stage and slap a bro. I just can't see it. Anyway, all right. That's dead. Table that. Down to it. All right, we're gonna table that. If there's more, we'll get into that next week. All right. What did we say? Cam Newton was the next one, right? We up to that?
I'm up to it.
Okay, here we go. Hold on, let me take care of some housekeeping real quick. All right, hold on, y'all. My bad. It's my fault. Yeah, send a quick text message. Bam. All right, housekeeping is done. All right, I'm up to it. Here we go. So Cam Newton then made some comments that pissed off a bunch of women. I mean, a whole bunch of women. I'm going to see if I can find it real quick so we can put it up on the screen for everybody to see.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Yes, sir. But he basically said, paraphrasing, he don't support bad. I'm gonna say chicks because I don't know if I can get away with cussing yet. So he said,
you ain't
I don't know.
Yeah,
I'm not trying to get us canceled on episode.
Not verbatim.
Yeah. I almost got us canceled on episode 1. I'm trying not to get us canceled episode 2.
I think that show was at 12, right?
Yeah, right. That part. Anyway, all right. So basically, what he said was that based on his experience, in dealing with his parents rather have been married for almost 40 years. He essentially went to define what a wife is, and his definition was, and I'm pulling it up, so I'm gonna get the exact words in a second, but is basically what he was saying was there can't be these bad chicks out here who can't cook, don't support their husbands, don't support their men, and don't know when to be quiet. He is under a lot of fire. He's this quote says he is in hot water after his comments. All right. So before we get to the footage, I'm working on it. Before we get to the footage, LB, I know you looked at I think you watched the whole podcast or the whole segment. What's your thought?
Yeah, well, I watched most of it, right? Because he said more than that, and it's just the part that caught the most heat was his opinion and how he, said what he said, right? Because based on his experience, right, growing up, his mom and dad, right, and then his grandma, I think he was saying that you can't call yourself, a bad bee, or you can't call yourself a woman, if and again, I'm just paraphrasing. If you are not, so here's the thing. Let me put it this way. If you're in a relationship, you got to have these roles clearly defined. You got to talk about things, because not all women want to cook, and that's fine, right?
He said roles
and responsibilities, right?
Roles and responsibilities are dirty words.
To him, right? a woman that's doing her job for him, right? I believe he said was you know you could be out here doing doing your thing, being that woman, but you know if you're lacking those things that he's looking for, right? He mentioned cooking, taking care of the needs of your man or your husband, right? Then you know you can't call yourself uh, on that level, right? I thought I didn't see him really bashing, right? He was just giving his opinion and whatnot. And then I listened more, and he actually said something about men too. So I was like, well, I mean, the bro was just was speaking on from his perspective, his from his bubble, because he even said that he keeps his circle small, like he protects, so he he's not out here uh judging for all. He's saying if he's gonna get a woman, and she's gonna call herself, uh, you know, uh, of a certain status, well, this is what she needs to come with. So, I think some, and then you got some
so
people.
hold that thought real quick, because you said she's got to come with some things, right? And there's been a growing narrative about men, about it being an issue for men to ask women what they believe they bring to the table, right? So that's been yeah, we going there about so men apparently are not allowed to ask what a woman brings to the table in a relationship. So kind of going along with your point, what's your thought on that? And if I interrupted something, my bad. But if what's your thought on that?
Well, my thought on that is that's stupid. What? I mean, we can't ask women, or apparently the narrative that may or may not be going out there, right, is that men shouldn't ask. It's not proper, or whatever the narrative is. That it's all stupid. That's what it is. You have to talk about these things. You have to, you don't just get a pass just because you're a man, or you don't just get a pass just because you're a woman. Um, so you have to increase your standards. Obviously, that's Cam Newton's standards. I heard, so I did hear a couple of comments back from some of these women, right? And some of the ones that I listened to, and some of the ones that I listened to, most of them, if not all, were single and mad. And I'm just in my mind, I was like, well, why are you mad that he prefers this type of woman? If you're not his type, why are you mad that you're not his type? So, yes.
Well, yeah,
I mean, you should be able to ask, what do you bring to the table? Because this is my standard. My standard is here. So what are you bringing to the, here's what I'm bringing. I'm going to talk about it. I'm going to show you what I'm bringing to the table. So what are you bringing to the table?
Absolutely correct. And I 100%, 1000% agree with that. And, people act like, okay, so here's the thing, right? Relationships are all, it's an audition. Okay. It's an audition. It's an interview process. You got to, what is it that you are going to add to the bottom line of this relationship, right? Or to the bottom line of this appointment, if we're going to go biblical, right? What are you adding to the bottom line of this appointment that I have, right? And a person has to be able to qualify based on your standards, right, for that spot. What I don't understand is how women kind of do the same thing. I mean, we're not about to sit up here and act like women just, give any old guy an opportunity, right? And these women just, give any old dude the time of day. We're not about to sit up here and act like that happens. So men have a standard. Well, some men, all right. Some men have a standard, and a lot of men are not for wasting a lot of time with somebody who's not I don't want to say not qualified. Well, I guess not qualified is the best way to say it, because in their eyes, they're not qualified. And that's all it is. It's not that they're not qualified in general. They're just not qualified for this guy. I think that if a man like Cam Newton says this is what he wants in a woman and you don't fit that, then great. Then you know that you don't need to waste time with a cat like Cam Newton. But what I see happening is that people want to change Cam Newton's thinking as opposed to just staying outside his bubble. If you're not that, then just stay out my man's bubble. That's it. I'm a bad Q. Talk to us, bro. You've been quiet.
Yo, my whole thing on it is, yes, Cam is entitled to his opinion, and what I got out of it is he set exactly what he's looking for in a woman. Now, don't get me wrong, I know I might end up stepping on some toes, but I believe what he laid out is pretty much the groundwork communication of what goes on before you set a relationship. He's just letting you know what type of woman he looks for. But if women have this conversation with men in the beginning, you find that you would save yourself from not being in a relationship with a guy that's not your match, and vice versa. So this is the groundwork of building a healthy relationship. If you don't know what you're getting into before you talk to a guy or before you talk to a woman, I'd rather lay everything out right on the front line. And that's exactly what Cam did. Am I mad at his opinion? No. But I feel like he shouldn't have caught as much backlash that he did.
Hey, I found the verbiage, right? Here's a quote from First Take. First Take. It says, now a woman for me, this is Cam, right? Now a woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs, right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic, let me see, hold on, sorry. Well, you get that aesthetic of I'm a boss B, right? I'm a this, I'm a that. No, baby, but you can't cook. You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead. So again, I don't think that's not an attack. I mean, it's actually, there's some truth behind it. Could he have put it in a different way? Sure, but look. That's like Trey. That's like asking you not to be you. You ask my opinion about something, I'm gonna give you my opinion in the way that I express it. All right. So to him, he's saying, nah, you call yourself, this type of person. Well, here's what you're not a full package. That's basically what he's saying.
At least in his eyes, at the very least in his eyes. Yeah.
Because everybody wants different things.
And that's fair, I think.
In my opinion, I think the way that his comment came out came from him being in a relationship with people that didn't actually listen to their men to hear what the men's problems were. A lot of times when we get upset or we get angry in relationships, you don't want to hear what the other person has to say. And I think Cam just got tired of dealing with those people that wouldn't listen to him. And I think that, yes, he came out with a strong opinion, but being in that situation kind of made it come out the wrong way. If it was reworded, I don't think he would have got that much backlash.
So here's my question: Did he really need to reword that? I don't think he said anything that was negative.
I don't think he needed to reword it because it's his opinion.
And so with that said, so I do have the video queued up, but before we get into the video, we are back at full strength. Our guy has made it. He done made it. Coming all the way from Ocean City, spending big time and big bread with his son, the big boy. My man, we are back, baby.
Yes, sir.
My man, my number. What up, boy?
What it do, fellas? What it do?
What is up, man?
Welcome back, family.
Oh, Jack, I feel like I came in at the right time. Sitting backstage, the only thing, and it's literally the call I was coming off of. You got to be able to have hard conversations. If like nobody's right for you, a business relationship, a friendship, family members, relationships, nobody's right for you if you can't have hard conversations. Us as frat, if we can't pull each other up and say, hey bro, you fucking up right now. Like you're not handling your responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? Like we're not really friends. We're not really family. We're not really frat. And so have to be able to have those hard conversations, and it'll sound different with everybody you come across, which if you take the time to learn, people's love languages, if you learn the time to take the time to learn how people respond to things, then you'll understand, what it is they need to hear. But that comes with time. I read this book called How Full Is Your Bucket? And one of the premises of it was that there's a relationship between like positive and negative things. So, for every, what did they say? For every, I think it was 5 positive things, you were supposed to have 2, not necessarily areas that you could work on, because you don't want to just sing people's praises and never tell them where they can stand to improve. And you don't want to give somebody more negative than you do positive. So like there's balance between those things so that people understand that they're on the right track, but also never give up on themselves. So I think if we're allowed to have those hard conversations, which means one, you got to be willing to receive criticism, because not everybody is open to that. It's not an easy thing to do, but it's a necessary thing. Like people have to be able to tell you your areas for improvement and growth, in order to become the best version of yourself. So like that's the part I walked in on, and it's been heavy on my heart. Like we got to be able to have hard conversations with each other.
I couldn't agree with you more, bro. And I think that's a big, if going kind of circling back through the topics we went through already. We touched on the Will Jada situation, and again going back to your point, you have to have people in your corner that are gonna hold you accountable, and honestly, openly and honestly, right? They're just gonna really truly hold you accountable. That's why I love you guys, because I know, and of course my family, my wife, they're gonna hold me accountable. I need that, right? I need you to hold me accountable to what I said and to what I know is right. You know what I mean? And if you don't have anybody that's doing that, honestly, they're doing you a disservice. So back to your point about the hard conversations. If we're not able to have hard conversations with our people, with people that we know and love and all that, if we can't have those tough conversations, I can't truly say I love you if I can't keep it real with you. I can't truly say I love you if I can't keep it real with you. If I can't tell you, hey man, hey, listen, I hear you. I hear your point, but that's wrong, and here's why. Right, and it not be a source of contention. If I can't do that, I can't truly say I love you. And you know what I mean. And you can't truly say you love me if you can't allow me to hold you accountable. Right. So that's my thought on that. I'm gonna get off that topic real quick, but Kev, that was a very, as usual, a very astute evaluation, my friend.
All right.
Beautiful, man. Hey, so look, let's get into it. Let's listen to this Cam Newton video real quick. Let's see. Here we go. Yeah, there we go. Let's go ahead and get into this real quick, and then this way everybody can hear for themselves what this man said that may or may not have pissed off a bunch of ladies. Here we go.
We ain't got the sound.
My bad. You said you ain't got no sound?
No,
Nope.
Oh, dang. All right, hold on. All right. See, when you live, shit like that happens sometimes.
Sorry, I'm gonna take another sip. Just for
I was gonna say, while he's working on it, what are y'all drinking?
Oh man, you know me, man. I'm on my dark.
I got this 12-year aged Jamaican rum.
Okay, so shout out to Black women. 10-1 is actually Sierra, Russell Wilson Sierra's own brand of
Ooh, I got a
Caribbean
topic
rum.
there too.
Yeah, so we support Black women.
Plug.
For sure.
Oh, absolutely.
We support Black business.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful thing. And this is, I would say, in order, this is probably the second best. Uncle Nearest has the brand, which is, you can't find that anymore because it was for Black History Month, but it's definitely like second to none. And I'm talking about all rums, period, because Uncle Nearest. But if you're gonna go 10-1, get the dark, not the light.
Boy, they need to put you on the payroll. Wow.
We are not getting paid for any of this advertisement that we're doing with Uncle Nearest and 10-1. Straight up, they're just good. It's just good alcohol. Like straight up, this is what we buy. This is what we drink. And we had some people on Twitch that only have water. Well, damn it, take a shot of water.
Hydration is still good.
Y'all came to a show called Up to It, Down to It, and brought water.
Not prepared.
Wait. I think they were pre-gaming before the show started. So now they just kind of like hydrating with the water, man. They was amped up.
Okay, enjoy the show.
Hydrate.
Enjoy the show.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's all good, man. So I'm on my old faithful. I'm on Peach Paul. Myself and the wifey, we on that. LB, what you on, brother?
I told you, man, that 12-year-old Appleton State Jamaican rum. Listen, it was worth every penny.
When we eventually do these live in one building, oh my.
Oh my.
Oh my. Okay. All right. Cool. So are we good on the Cam Newton thing, or we need to jump into this a little bit more? That's right. The video didn't play for y'all. Y'all didn't get no sound. So hold on.
And like I said before, man, he didn't just talk about the women. That's just what sparked, right? It's like it hit a hot button. It hit a pressure point.
They needed a sound bite.
He also talked about the men too. Hopefully, there's that's captured in this one. I don't know if it will be.
I'm not sure if it is or not, but I do know that if he did say anything about the men, that was totally drowned out because the narrative spun is that he only talked about the women. And big shout out to Kevin Samuels, because that's basically what happened with his show. He started out talking to the fellas. And he had a couple of videos that went viral with him talking to the ladies, and the ladies in their angst, called him all kind of every istin phobe in the world, which I'm sure I'm guilty of being every istin phobe in the world too. Don't worry, we'll get into that. I'm coming. I'm coming. Don't worry. So anyway, I think in the end, a person should be able to have, let's go back to Cam. So a person should be able to have their own opinion on whatever, right? And so we're about to hear a little bit about his opinion. Let's get to this video real quick. Let me know if y'all can hear any of this. Let's just go ahead and do this way. Let me know if y'all can hear this. Hold on. Oh, that's wild. Okay, there we go.
But knowing how to cater to.
First of all, could y'all hear that?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Cool. There we go. Now we're good. All right.
Woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs. But you can't cook.
Okay.
You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to allow a man to lead.
Okay, guys. So Cam Newton.
So all right, cool. So they blurted out the part where he basically said that was that boss chick mentality, bad chick mentality, and with that, you're boss and you're bad, but you can't cook. You don't know when to be quiet. You don't know how to let a man take the lead. So let's go around the room and let's see what y'all thought is on that. Who want to go first? Whoever want to go first, man, go for it. Because we are clearly up to it.
I am. And again, if you're easily offended, that's offensive. But it's not an offensive statement. And I mean, like, I always, when I hear something, I take gender out of it, because there's not always a time that a man should open his mouth. And so, like, I know that I'm not going to always speak on everything. And in a relationship, I have to, like, understand that it's not my place to speak on everything. Sometimes I have to let my woman handle things for herself. Sometimes, I got to let her take the lead because she may be more knowledgeable on something. So, like, if you can find the heart of the message, then you can stay out your feelings. But if, it's like I tell my students all the time, if it doesn't apply, don't take offense. Or, if you want to make it rhyme, if it doesn't apply, let it fly.
So all right. So what do you think the central message in that was?
The central message, like I said, that everybody's got something that they can work on. And when you arrive at this place that you feel like you just got all your stuff together, you're no longer coachable. You're no longer teachable. Like, you're no longer in a place where people can correct you and help to make you better. Like, even if you have perfected something, there's still a next level that you can go to. And I think that's the central message. Like, you can't be so full of yourself that you think there's nothing else that can be said to you, or you can't, like, be better.
Well said. Well said. Who want to take the next spot?
So let me see if I can hold on. Let me see if I can do something right quick. Let's see. All right, hold on. Bada bang. Bada boom. And share audio.
Oh, he got something. Got something.
Let's see. All right. Okay, hold on. Let me see. We here.
Live, y'all. This is what happens. This is what happens. We live, and it's only episode 2, so y'all don't start.
Let me see. Can y'all see this? Can y'all see the Cam Newton jump?
Yep.
All right, let me know if you can hear it.
Can't hear it.
Can't hear it.
Don't hear it.
Don't hear it. Hold on. All right, let me do it this way.
While he works on that, I will say, and y'all can, shut me up if y'all already covered this. I think a part of the offense of Cam Newton in this particular interview goes back to him, being that primetime quarterback who offended, the female reporter, where he lost the Oikos endorsements and all of that stuff. Like, when he was at the height of his game, because he made that, the statement about the woman. He was like, "Oh, I'm surprised you know about football," like something along those lines. And so I think people are still on kind of heightened alert with Cam Newton, going all the way back to that press conference. And that's kind of one of those things, like, when you have a history, which, I mean, that one, I don't consider that one interview history, but that is his history. When you have that history of being offensive, which in that case, I absolutely think he was, then of course, everything that comes after that would be, would be more easily seen as offensive.
I mean, but is that fair though?
Is that literally offensive? Let me put it to you this way. Are we to cater to everybody's offense?
We're not to cater to it.
It seems like
I'm saying
that's where we're headed, and that's what we're doing in this country. We are catering to everybody. Everybody's offense.
So the reason I say it's offensive in this case is because that's a reporter at a post-game press conference. So my belief, I think the general belief is, everybody who's reporting should at least know something about the game of football. And if you're not going to question a male reporter, black, white, Hispanic, Asian, indifferent, like, and say after they ask you about a route that you ran or a pass that you threw or an audible that you called, like, then why would you do that to a woman who's sitting in the same seats as them. I think that part is offensive.
I will say that I will say that I think it was an ignorant statement to make that, yeah, she's a reporter. So, you know, it is ignorant, right? But you're hanging the man because and again, I don't want to give him a pass on. I don't want to give people just a pass on anything that they say, but I'm just saying, like, he's not used to certain. Let me put it this way. Right? Yeah, if you're not used to, he said what he was thinking out loud, and that's just him. That's him. He said what he was thinking out loud. He was surprised that a woman, you know, or whoever, he might have known her. I don't know. But he was surprised that she, you know, knew about football. Do the majority of women know about football? No. So again, I'm just playing devil's advocate here. Are we hanging them? It seems like every time a man says something wrong, let's just hang them. That's the first step. Hang them.
I mean, and then I guess the other question is,
feels like
is what he said even wrong in the first place?
I think so.
Well, okay, so to your point, Kev, I guess my question is, do we know that he's never questioned a guy on his football acumen before?
We don't. So in fairness, we don't know that, because, and of course, like with anything, we're not going to see every interview he does at every point in time. You know,
here's the other question: how do we know that she's the one that came up with that question?
I mean, we don't. But again,
are they not
like,
prepped? Don't they not?
But he's also prepped. You know, you got PR. I mean, your PR starts at the combines. You got to know how to deal with the press, how to answer questions, how to not say too much, but also give them a little bit of you. So again, at that point, he's at the height of his career. So I can trust he has a whole PR team saying, like, sir, you got all these endorsements. So when you go up there, you can't drink this because you're sponsored by this. You can't eat this because you're sponsored by this. Like, so there's a lot of stuff, you know, before you even step up to the podium to begin answering questions. That's the, and like I said, he's at the height of his career at that point. So like, that's the only reason I can't give him a pass in that moment. If he said it as a rookie, I'd be like, that's a dumb rookie mistake. But, you know, you coming off of an MVP season, you'd have been to the Super Bowl, like, you know how to answer the questions, you know what to do, you know what to say.
But at the same time, he's one of those people where he's not going to. I bet you he does have the team in place, or at least they have it for him, right? But he's not that type of person, right? He's the type of person that he is going to obviously speak his mind because he's done it, but. You know, I see, look at Marshawn Lynch, right? His whole football career, you barely heard anything from him. And now that, you know, he's been out, you're like, dang, this dude is actually funny. He actually has a personality, like, right? So I guess that's just the difference. You know, Marshawn Lynch chose I'm just here so I don't get fired, versus Cam Newton is, I might have a PR team, but I'm gonna be me regardless. So I'm gonna say what I say. So and that's just that mentality, you know.
I get it, but
that's his version of being real.
No, I get it. And listen, he's allowed to be as real as he wants to be, but it's all, you know, your realness still comes with a price.
Is he allowed to be as real as he wants to be?
No, he is, but it doesn't. I mean, I'm saying all of us are, but it doesn't mean it's without consequence. And in that case, it was his endorsements.
That's fair. Well, okay, I'll leave that at that. I'll leave that at that. I won't argue with that, because, you know, in the end, whoever is endorsing you, they essentially own you. Like,
you know, it's
You're
that
the yes man at their will.
I'm saying it's that part of the contract that says you don't do anything that could potentially damage our brand. And Oikos had a women's, like, you know, a line of yogurt that was like designated for women and women athletes and all. So you can't, I'm just saying, like, you got to know.
Yeah, you know, like I said, I don't know, you know, given Cam Newton's temperament, and I'm not trying to give the brother a pass. I'm just, you know, I'm also not trying to hang him. We don't know that given his what I would say is given his temperament, I could see him popping off on a guy the same way. You know, but you're right. You got to know your audience, right? You always have to be mindful of your audience. So I'll agree with you on I'll agree with you on what he said about. No, I'm surprised you know football, but I think this last set of things that he said, I don't think there was anything wrong with that at all, at all.
I agree.
And you know, especially since he was really, you know, going back to his childhood. You know, it's like any one of us would relate to some extent our childhood, what we experienced, right, as, with our moms and dads, or just moms or whatever, right, whatever your scenario was. So I think based on he's seeing these bad chicks, and he's Cam Newton. I mean, he's an older guy. He's older now, but you know, Cam Newton, 2015, Cam Newton was 7 years younger than he is now, right? And so think about us 7 years ago. You know what I'm saying? 2010, Cam Newton was 12 years younger. Think about us 12 years ago, right? So there were some things that he probably got into, you know, at a younger age, that now as an older man, he can look back and say, yeah, I probably did perspective. I probably messed with a couple of bad chicks, right? And I seen what they brought to the table, and a lot of them wasn't bringing nothing to the table for real. A lot of them were, you know, they can't cook, like we said, they can't cook. You know, they don't care to cater to you. They only want you to cater to them. I mean, that sounds like gold digger to me.
It sounds like a level of
Trophy
it
wife.
sounds like what is a pond, right? A pond of women that he was dealing with, right? He was fishing in a certain pond. It's the, you know, so
and that's fair. I mean, he's, you know, again, he's Cam Newton.
And it's Cam Newton.
You know,
he's Cam Newton.
Some could say he need to start fishing in a different pond then.
Ooh.
Most of the women that he's dealing with is that.
Well, isn't that kind of his point? Isn't that kind of his point? This pond of women.
That is his point. But again, you know, pressure points were hit, and the message kind of stopped right when that pressure point was hit.
Yeah, facts, and I think that's unfortunate because, you know, whatever he did in his 20s or whatever, we all did stuff in our 20s. I mean, are we not allowed to grow from that? Are we not allowed to learn from that? And then now when they speak from the perspective of someone who's already went through that, I kind of feel like that's what he did. He probably learned his lesson, messing around with some of these, you know, some of these garden tools out here. And, you know what I mean? And thinking them to be more than that.
Listen, you go back and find my drunk tweets from 15 years ago. Go back and find them, and you'll see how much I've grown. Yeah, I get it. I you know, like I said, I get it. I totally understand it. You know, because I mean, and for what it's worth, celebrities, it's just a celebrity life. We see it all the time. These players, and like particularly right now, it's the white athletes. So white hockey players, white baseball players, white football players, they get drafted. First thing people do, go back through their old tweets looking for something racially offensive. You know, they done quoted some rap lyrics with the N-word in it. And it was at a point where they weren't known, weren't popular, but now all of a sudden they're wrong for something they said 8-9 years ago. I don't get mad at those things, but of course they got to come out with the apologies. Oh, I didn't, you know, I was wrong for what I did then. I've learned so much. I've grown so much. Like, I hate it, but that's what people do. They go back and look at your past because you're in a different spotlight, you know?
But okay. All right. But what I'm saying is, should you be judged in the year of our Lord 2022 for shit that you said in 2005?
No, like, you shouldn't.
I mean, you're a different person. I would imagine you are probably a different person. Was this April 2022 than you were April 2021? I would imagine.
Very much different,
right? So I mean, let alone who you were in 2008.
Yeah.
You know, are we not allowed to grow at any point?
Yeah. No, and I'm with you. It's just that's just how, you know, people on Al Gore's internet tend to be. They want to find the worst of you. instead of appreciating, the places that you've gotten to.
I mean, that sounds kind of That sounds like a distraction to me.
Yeah.
Because if everybody's looking at you, then nobody's looking at me. All right. Okay.
Unfortunately, that's the way of media, man.
Yeah.
Oh boy, I'm gonna leave that right there. All right. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Look, listen. I'm leaving it there. Next topic.
Oh man.
Last topic I say is it's 11, and we are not quite yet able to do this full time and not have to go to work yet. So we're gonna cut this short pretty soon. Here's one. Okay. Russell Wilson.
Put some respect on his name.
Thank you. So
Period.
Put some respect on his name.
Period.
LB. So all right, Russell Wilson, y'all, because who was it? Channing Crowder said something about him, right?
Wait, Channing Frye,
Channing
Jay Crowder,
Jay
Crowder, which
Crowder?
I don't know. Which
I don't know.
Whoever said it, shut up.
I'm sorry.
At this point, it doesn't matter who said it. Shut up.
Facts, man. So all right, cool. So topic of conversation is Russell Wilson a simp? Are we up to it or down to it?
I already drunk mine.
And I was gonna say, and we gonna go up to it, but we gonna keep this short and sweet, cause
let's do it.
Everybody, shut up.
As soon as you said Russell Wilson,
yeah,
I don't know.
You put it in the air.
I said, let's go.
Okay. So yeah, y'all need to shut the hell up. Anybody that's saying that about Russell Wilson, y'all need to shut your stupid, filthy little mouths. Okay, straight up. This man, like, for real, this is the type of man that women truly want. All right. The bad boys, some people like the ones with the edge and all of that stuff. What I'm saying is, you want a man that can provide. You want a man that has your back. You want a man that will take you, all of you, no matter what you brought to the table. You want that. Go ahead, Kev. I see you, man. Go for it, bro. Go for it.
He's raising another man's child
and not crying about it.
To be the man that his father isn't. I just want everybody to shut up. He's putting Future Junior in tailored suits and showing him the world, while his father is putting out albums about Valentine's Day being the worst day because I've got so many hoes to keep up with. I want everybody to shut up.
That part.
You can't want a Russell Wilson dating Futures.
Thank you.
I think that's that pond I talked about before, right?
Ain't no good men out here.
Oh, okay.
See, and well, again, it's not that there ain't no good men out here. Is that the bad man you want to be a good man ain't a good man.
And same goes for the men that think that there ain't no good women out here.
Mm-hmm. Oh, it absolutely goes for men. We fellas, we have to do a better job. And I ain't judging nobody because I've certainly made my share of mistakes. But fellas, we got to do a better job of controlling our seed and being in control of our bloodline and being in control of our mental health. Right? There are succubuses out here that will literally they will drain you. Right? It would drain you emotionally, physically, mentally, financially. They will drain you gladly. All right. I'm just saying, fellas, we gotta do better because we're the head, right? We're the head. I heard an analogy a little while back. Men are the head, and the wife or the woman is the neck. Right? Without the neck, the head can't do but so much. Okay, it can't do but so much. You need the neck, right? That's the joint that supplies there. So we need y'all, ladies. We need y'all.
Sounds like the neck is the support system.
The neck is the support system. It's like chess. In the game of chess, the queen is the most powerful piece on the board. The king is the most important piece on the board. What do I mean by that? The queen can go anywhere, do anything, can capture anybody, can go across the board at will. She is the most powerful piece on the board. If the queen gets captured, it's going to be really tough to win that war, but you can still win that game. The king gets captured, the game is over. Okay? King get captured, game over. Don't matter if the queen's on the board. Don't matter how many pawns on the board. Don't matter the bishop, whatever's on the board. King get captured, game over. Okay? That's how much we need each other, because it's going to be really tough for that king to win the war if the queen gets captured. We have to understand that and not put the queen title and responsibility on someone who is not worthy.
Stop making pawns your queen.
Go on and say that again.
Stop making pawns your queen.
And that's just a fact. And that listen, it starts with us. We can say that to the ladies too, but man, all the fellas listening, it starts with us.
And the craziest thing is, like, and again, we never say all or none or any of this because it doesn't apply to everybody. But there are a lot of women who subscribe to futures because they, want a man that they know is going to stand up for them and, defend them and, like, in a, like, physical masculine way.
I mean, but do we honestly think Russell Wilson wouldn't defend?
That's exactly, and that one, not only that, but I also believe that Russell Wilson would never put his family in the kind of predicament that calls for them to have to be protected in that kind of way. So, like, you have to be thinking bigger than just, oh my God, if we're caught in a backyard brawl, that, like, he gonna put a slug in somebody. No. Are you gonna take me to the places where we don't even have to worry about these kinds of things that, again, we're putting on tailored suits for, instead of, sagging our jeans for club photos? Like, your whole level of thinking has to be different. And that's the way, like you said, fellas got to know it too. When I think of my partner, what does that, how does that influence my son? What does that do for my future? How does that affect my brand? I know I'm not a celebrity, but I still have a brand. I still have churches that I serve. I still have a school that I work at. I still, have to position things on social media, to go, like, my own business for, what everything I do, you are a reflection of me. And so we have to understand that people, like, put us in positions to either look really, really good or really, really bad. And so, I'm of the full belief that Russell Wilson would lay down his life for his family, but he also would never put them in a position where he would have to lay down his life.
And that's the most important part there, fellas. That's the most important part. A man would not put his wife and his family in a predicament where they would have to do something like that. No, don't get me wrong. Yeah. And I think we all feel the same way. I will to the death with mine. For mine, don't all of mine.
Bust it to the white meat.
Straight up. We Rich, we got some stories anyway.
We do.
Kev, we got some stories.
We got some stories.
Hell, Q, we got some stories.
We got some stories.
We all got.
We gonna ride for ours, but at the same time, we ain't finna put ourselves in a position for that. There was one of a very good friend of mine. I won't mention her on the air, but y'all know who it is. Good friend of mine brought up a good point, and she said that There was a point where she was walking through, city subways and so on. And of course it's dangerous, right? And she got the feeling that the men around her, some of them were, willing to, be that stalwart. But there was also a good portion of them that were like, well, not my problem. Right. And while we were talking, and she was saying she thinks that's messed up. Like they should be there. They should be there for me. And I said, well, true, but at the same time, they got to get home. They got to go home. So here's the thing: who's my obligation to? Is my obligation to a random woman I see on the subway, or is it to my wife and my kids?
Mm.
Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not just gonna sit there and just watch it. Let any old thing just happen. Like I have more integrity than that, right? But at the same time, if something happens to me because I took up for you, then that impairs my ability to take care of mine. So where's my responsibility truly lie? I'm not saying just let any old thing just take place on your watch, but where is your responsibility? Rich, I see you stewing over there, bro. Talk to us.
Nah, man. I mean that can go off into a whole nother topic, right? That can go off to the whole nother topic because I mean that again goes back to my responsibilities, right? That's my wife, my family, right? Because they are under my covering, right? They're my responsibility, right? And here's what I'll say. I'm gonna go back to the Russell and Sierra, and y'all can correct me if I'm wrong, but I've never seen Sierra. I'm gonna give her some praise. I've never seen her go out from up underneath Russell's covering.
Ooh, we heading to Sunday morning, ain't we?
So you could say, if you're looking at it that way, right? When has she gone up from underneath Russell's covering, right? So, obviously Russell was looking for a certain type of woman, a standard, right? So wasn't and he was willing to accept all of her, right? So she obviously brought something to the table, right? That met, his standards, right? And shout out to Sierra for doing her thing, right? Support, being there, still doing her thing, right? But also, right, roles and responsibilities again, man. It's got to be clearly defined. It's got to be clearly defined. And I'm gonna say, shout out to her for staying up underneath that cover because that allowed him to do his job.
You're absolutely right. And and it sounds like she's doing exactly what Cam Newton described that he would prefer in his relationship. I'm gonna find that. I'm gonna find that sound. I'm gonna find that clip. Y'all remind me. Y'all remind me tomorrow.
We need some.
Yeah. We need some sound effects.
And Trey, you would talk about the woman by herself, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know her situation, but I do know, and we can't generalize, right? So we can say I do know that issues happen when some of these women go out from underneath the covering of, whether it be their man or their father or whoever the male is, right? A lot of issues happen. It could go into so many different branches and avenues now because I mean that can go into the whole, equality thing, right? And it's like, wait, do you want to be men now? Like how if you want to be at this level with me, then how can I cover you if you're not underneath the covering? You want to be here, but you still want me to do my job, but I can't do my job because you want to be here, but I can't do my job because you're not under here. So,
but you still expect the same treatment as if
what do you
were
really?
under.
What do you really want, and what are you really asking for? Okay, all right. That's a whole nother.
Oh boy,
that's gonna take too much time. We already past time.
Oh boy,
It's like a teaser for next week.
Oh boy, y'all! Well, I'm about to say y'all better get ready for next week because we gonna come back to that. Oh boy, oh boy.
Man.
Yeah. So that protection thing is huge, and that goes into what the purpose of marriage is anyway in the first place, and whether or not it's a government social construct or a God ordained institution. Now, so we're gonna do another. There's gonna be another segment coming soon, kind of spin off to some degree called Ears to Hear. I'm gonna give y'all some more details on that tomorrow. Don't worry, but that's coming pretty soon. And we're gonna dig in a little bit to that. And y'all that probably y'all speak Christianese, so y'all know what ears to hear. Y'all get it. Y'all know where I'm going with this. All right. But that's coming soon, and we're gonna dig into that. But that, I mean, in my opinion, that's where marriage comes from in the first place. Then our human ability to bastardize things that God set in front of us, notwithstanding, marriage is set up a certain way for a reason. But we ain't got to get into that right now.
We ain't got that kind of time.
We ain't got that kind of time. So speaking of things to lead in for next week, so we stumbled on a video over the weekend. Man, oh boy, yeah, okay, we'll come back to that. We stumbled over a video over the weekend talking about something called attractiveness inflation. All right.
So I had a busy weekend, so I missed that one.
That's all good. We finna catch you up.
Attractiveness inflation.
Attractiveness inflation. Yep. So let me first shout out Melanie King, right? So this is actually where I got this from. I've told you guys about her channel. Follow her on YouTube, man. It's pretty dope. She has good, clear, concise breakdowns from a woman's perspective on a lot of different topics, and I think she's pretty dope. So check her out. But anyway, when I saw this video, she mentioned this video on one of her episodes, I guess, on her channel, and that's where this came from. So I want to give credit where credit's due. Now that said, let's get into it, because this is attractiveness inflation, in not my words. All right, pause before we keep going. Can y'all hear that?
No.
No, see, that's okay. That's okay. That's all right. That's all right. That's all right. I had a feeling that might have been the case. All right, take two.
Guys, I'm going to be honest with you.
Yep.
Nowadays, it's...
We good?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. Got volume, baby. Okay, so I think what happens is I need to not leave it on the screen for too long. Got it. All right, here we go. So this is attractiveness inflation.
I'd rather a 10. Yeah. And you don't understand. Well, I'm a 10. I go to school, I go to work, and I have a great personality, and I'm...
Guys, I'm going to be honest with you. Nowadays, it seems that all women, regardless of their own attractiveness, is walking around thinking they're a perfect 10 out of 10. All forms of modesty and simple common sense have gone straight out the window, and it seems all women are walking around with a chip on their shoulder, thinking they're God's gift to mankind. Well, guys, in this video, I'm going to be outlining the 8 reasons, yeah, you heard that right, 8 reasons, for why the rate of attractiveness inflation is going through the roof, or in simple words, why every woman now thinks in 2021 she's a perfect 10. Number 1.
Hold on, LB, we can't hear you. We can't hear you, LB.
Nah, he had to hit
My bad,
pause because that play button.
My
That
bad.
play-
No,
that play
I
button.
had myself still on mute. My fault, fam. My fault. We go. we. So, in the interest of time, I'm gonna ask y'all: do we table this for next week as topic number 1? Because we're gonna have to come back.
Yeah, you
Or
gonna
We got
do
to
it right now.
you gotta table that, man.
All right,
That's
say
first of all,
less.
it's 8 reasons. So that's this is a show all by itself.
Yeah. So we go. So look, I think I propose we break this down week after week, right?
Yeah.
I propose we get into this at some point, and especially looking at option number 1, and we're all kind of looking at this together at the same time, right? So, so this is all whatever reactions we give y'all going forward. These are all going to be genuine reactions. We ain't no prep video, none of that. We're gonna watch it all together. But looking at reason number 1, simping. Oh boy,
Endless options.
oh boy. Oh boy. Cool. So we tabling that for next week.
Yeah.
All right. So y'all know what time it is. We are gonna get into attractiveness inflation next week. Oh boy, buckle up.
It's gonna be a ride.
It's gonna be quite a ride. Yeah, let's shut it down because I know people got to get up early. Kev, I appreciate you jumping on, man. I know this is vacation week and baby boy's birthday week, and so I appreciate you making the time for us here, brother.
No doubt, man. Glad to be here.
Yes, sir.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Q, I appreciate you pausing your time out at the club. We ain't gonna say where you at yet, but for pausing your time out to
At
talk
the
to us
spot.
real quick.
Of course, man. Y'all fam. Y'all my Up to It, Down to It fam. And shout out to everybody that's actually on with us tonight
We
on
appreciate
Twitch.
y'all.
We appreciate y'all, and we
Yeah.
mean that.
Yes, 100%. We appreciate y'all. We're looking forward to growing this audience and talking to y'all some more. Again, thank y'all for riding with us. And LB, man, I heard the Bambino in the background earlier on the pre-show. So
we gotta figure out how to make some more people frat. That's all I'm gonna say.
And that's the game, ladies and gentlemen. We are out of here. That's it. I ain't even got nothing to say off that. Guys, thank y'all again for listening. We appreciate y'all, fellas. I appreciate y'all hopping on. Big shout out to Asia B. She's backstage with us real quick, listening in and everything. She was active on Twitch as well. So big shout out to you, hon. Appreciate you. Look, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Twitch. We got Facebook and Instagram is coming very soon. We're working on it.
All the things. Yes.
All those things are coming very soon. All your social media platforms. We are out here. One more time, up to it, down to it for the win. Y'all have a great night, man. I'm gonna talk to y'all later.
Yeah.
Bye.